Welcome to DU Digimon.
Hello and welcome to DU Digimon and welcome to another deck profile. If you're liking this sort of content, please make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel and ding that notification bell so you're not missing out on any of the latest content. It's just going to be deck profiles this week, guys, because I'm actually on holiday by the time you guys are seeing this, so I have had to kind of churn out content like no tomorrow to make sure that there are things coming up on the channel whilst I'm away. But we're now today looking at Gallantmon, and this is not my list, this is Sam's list that he has provided for me for this profile, so thank you very much, Sam. And he has been testing this out since the EX8 cards came out. I printed off some proxies for him as well, and he's been testing out those, and this is what he's come up with for the BT20 format, starting of course with the eggs. There are no eggs on this list again, Samuel! There we go. We have eggs now. Not Sam's fault, because for some strange reason the deck list that I got from Digimon.io don't transfer eggs for some strange reason, but I've put it in now, so we're good. Eggs. Digimon from EX2 coming back with the clutch is still a great egg despite its age, just because of that when attacking draw. Obviously you're doing a lot of attacking, a lot of blitzing in Gallantmon, so you're getting that draw all the time, so it's a great egg for your consistency. Then going into the rookies, we have got Gallantmon from EX2 first. So this is your main searcher, revealing top 4, adding a card with Growlmon or Gallantmon in its name, and 1 Takato, among them from into your hand. And also has a great inheritable effect, and when attacking, if this Digimon has Growlmon or Gallantmon in its name, delete one of your opponent's Digimon from 3000 DP or less. If you've got the right stuff in your stack, potentially that DP could be even more. Be interested to see if Sam is playing those kind of sort of cards though. Next, he has got 2 copies of the ST7 Gallantmon. This one allows you to do some warp shenanigans. So you warp up into your level 6 or higher Digimon. If your opponent has a level 6 or higher Digimon in play, you warp up into Gallantmon for a memory cost of 4, ignoring the Digivolution requirements. And then you also have that when opponent's Digimon is deleted to trigger draw 1 effect as the inheritable, so pretty good. He's then also got 1 copy of the EX4 Gallantmon. Arguably, you could say possibly bump this up because this is a win condition in of itself. Because essentially what happens is on play, the total number of cards is in both players' trash is 20 or more. This Digimon gains Rush, and it gains it for the whole turn. So you can use this, potentially warp up into Gallantmon, do lots of shenanigans. Scramble's really good with this, for example. So potentially you could bump this up, but Sam has been finding that 1 has been working fine for him. Then he's also got the Gallantmon X from EX8. Reveals the top 3, adds a card with Growlmon or Gallantmon in its name, and 1 X antibody among them to the hand, and return the rest to the deck. And then has that when any of your opponent's Digimon are deleted, gain 1 memory. So you gain draws for deleting stuff, you gain memory for deleting stuff. It's really cool. Basically, if you've got this and the ST7 in the same stack, you're basically doing a cool boy effect every single time you delete something, which is really nice. Then we're going into the Growlmons. We've got the BT19 Growlmon. Of course, we say BT20 format. All of this stuff is kind of half of BT19. If you have 1 or fewer tamers, you may play 1 Takato from your hand. Has that kind of new kind of text on it where we're kind of retraining all the tamer playing cards, where it used to be just if you don't have that tamer, you play that tamer. But now it's if you do have that tamer, but it's only 1 of those tamers, you can play that tamer. And then also has the all turns while you have 0 or less memory, add 2000 to this Digimon's DP deletion effect. So that's where exactly you could get a little bit more deletion on this effect here. This would be bumping up from 3000 to 5000 with that effect, which it makes a rookie effect really good all of a sudden. So really, really nice. Then we've also got a couple copies of the ST7 Growlmon. This is just a vanilla, but gives you memory when you're deleting stuff. So again, if you've got this in the stack, you can gain more memory with the Gallantmon X effect and with this in conjunction. And we've also got the Growlmon X antibody from EX8. Only 2 copies of this one. It's quite interesting. He's actually gone for quite a small champion line. It's only 8 champions. But if that's been working for him, that's been working for him. Could you potentially bump them up? Probably, but it's all up to preference at the end of the day. When digivolving, you draw 1 and trash 1. Then if Growlmon or X antibody is in this Digimon's deletion cards, it's the end of your opponent's turn. This Digimon games on deletion. You may play 1 card with Gallantmon its name from your trash without paying the cost, so you can get a little bit of recursion with that. And then also has another when you delete an opponent's Digimon, gain 1 memory. So if you have the super stack of this one, this one and this one, you're gaining. Then going into the level 5, starting with the BT12 War Growlmon, still on this. It's still a great card. Delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 4000 DP or less, bearing in mind that can get boosted up by 2k to 6k with the ground one from BT19. And if no opponent's Digimon was deleted by this effect, you may Digivolve this Digimon into a level 6 Digimon with Gallantmon in its name in your hand for the Digivolution cost. And when this Digimon would Digivolve by this effect, you reduce the Digivolution cost by 1. So it gets you into that cheaper. And then you have an end of attack effect of if your opponent has no Digimon in play and this Digimon has Groundmon or Gallantmon in its name, gain 2 memory. So potentially, if you've got the right stack, this plus this plus this plus this, you're gaining 5 memory whenever you're deleting something, which is just dumb. It's so stupid. Then Sam has opted to only play one of the new War Groundmon Ace. This is a card I thought he'd play more of, but this is what he's finding is working for him again. All down to personal preference at the end of the day. Delete up to 3000 DP total worth of your opponent's Digimon. For each of your opponent's Digimon, add 2000 as DP deletions effect maximum. And then for each Digimon this effect deleted, gain 1 memory. So this is a really good ace. It's one of the kind of the first few aces with inheritable effects. I think the first one technically is Cyberdramon Ace. But this adds 3000 to this Digimon's DP deletions effects maximums as an inheritable as well. So it really helps with more of the deletion side of things. And obviously you can go really wide. I mean, War Groundmon Ace saw Metal Greymon Ace from BT14 and was just like, hold my beer, I'm going to do what you do, but way better. And it's just a great card. Only playing at 1 though, I guess because Sam, I mean, I know Sam tends to not like overflow costs. For the longest time, he was on EX2 Crimson mode instead of the BT17 one because he didn't like overflow costs. So that might be why he's only got the 1 copy, but it's still in there as a little trap in case he needs it. Then he's got 3 copies of the War Groundmon X from EX8. When Digivolving into the end of your opponent's turn, this Digimon can't be returned to the hand or dex and gets 3000 DP. Then if War Groundmon or X Body is in this Digimon's Digivolution cards, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 10k or less. Sorry, that's my work laptop. Not that I'm working, I'm on my lunch break. Anyways, security attack +1 on this one as the inheritable, so it really helps you with your aggression, with your protection as well, although you do get protection effects later on from some of your Gallantmons. Then going into the level 6s, speaking of Gallantmons, we've got 2 of the BT13 one, has Rush, and when you would play this card from the hand, if you have no Digimon, reduce the play cost by 2 for every 5 total cards in both players' trashes, so that Rush effect really helps you in terms of your general aggression. Unlike with the Gearmon from the rookie line, so the EX4 Gearmon, this one does not give you Rush for the turn. It only gives you Rush there and then on this Digimon. So if you do Digivolve up, you will lose that Rush. So just bear that in mind. But this guy I've always thought was nuts because he's got an on-play when Digivolving, when attacking that is not once per turn. So you can play him out, Rush, attack, or Digivolve into him and attack and do the effect twice. You delete one of your opponent's Digimon 6000 DP or less. If no opponent's Digimon was deleted by this effect, delete one of their Digimon with 13k or more instead. So a really good removal Gallantmon and really, again, helps you with those rush plays. Then the next Gallantmon, he's got 3 of the BT17 Gallantmon. He's actually opted for none of the BT19 Gallantmon, which is interesting. I'll pop that up on screen. I can't quite remember what it does. I think it gives like piercing and memory if you delete something, I think. But he's opted for the Gallantmon from BT17 instead, which to be fair, I think is a fairly common thing to do, from what I understand. But when Digivolving when attacking, again, not a once per turn effect, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 8k or less. If this effect didn't delete, this Digimon gets 3000 DP and gains blocker to the end of the opponent's turn. So it gives you some defensive plays in Gallantmon, which is not something it's really had options with until this came out in BT17. Your turn, while you have 0 or less memory, this Digimon isn't affected by your opponent's effects, so has a protection effect as well, just to boot. Then the last level 6 we've got is, of course, Gallantmon X Antibody from EX8, 3 copies of this guy. Holy crap, he's so good. He's more balanced than something like Magnamon X, but as a boss monster in general, he is so good. When Digivolving, when attacking, if Gallantmon or X Antibody is in this Digimon's Digivolution cards, until the end of your opponent's turn, this Digimon gets 4000 DP, and one of their Digimon gets minus 4000 DP. It's a red, blue, and yellow card. We've got yellow things and blue things going on in this as well. When Digivolving, an end of attack, delete one of your opponent's 10,000 DP or lower Digimon. If this effect didn't delete, you trash the top of their security, and this Digimon unsuspends. So it's just phenomenal. You know, you do that when Digivolving effect, you trigger the other one, you're deleting more stuff, you're trashing stuff. If you get more value out of that second when Digivolving effect, I think, when you're doing it as an end of attack on your other turns because you unsuspend. But you know, there's nothing stopping you from swinging with this before you digivolve into the Gallantmon X antibody. So go into your smaller Gallantmons, your non-X antibody Gallantmons, and then digivolve into this. Unsuspend, you've got Blitz thanks to Takato, and then you just go to the races. And again, this also has the effect of while you have 0 or less memory, this Digimon isn't affected by your opponent's Digimon effects. So really, really good in general. Then we've got 2 copies of the Crimson Mode Ace from BT17. Definitely the best Ace option you could be playing in this. On play when digivolving, delete up to 15k total worth of your opponent's Digimon, and when attacking, for every 10 total cards of both players' trash the top card of your opponent's security stack. So the later you are in the game, the more chance this has of closing things out. It's a really, really good Ace card. Very, very nice. Then going into the Tamers, we've got 3 of the BT19 Takato. So this is a memory setter, and I'm glad he's pushed onto this one, because this is absolutely like one of the best Takatos we Gallantmon has access to. If you have 2 or less memory set to 3, when any of your Digimon digivolve into a Digimon with Growlmon or Gallantmon in its name by suspending this tamer, that Digimon gains raid for the turn, and then that Digimon attacks the player. So not only do you gain raid, you get a pseudo blitz from this Takato. He's absolutely the best of the memory setting Takatos, possibly now the best tamer they have access to in this deck, taking that spot from the EX2, but this in conjunction with the EX2 as well works really well. Really, really, really good card. Then we've got 3 copies of the EX2 Takato. Of course, just having that pair of the two best tamers for this archetype. When an opponent's Digimon is deleted, you may suspend this tamer to gain 1 memory, so another memory gaining option. You have this on the field, you could be gaining 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever memory, because of your inheritable effects plus this. When one of your Digimon would digivolve into a Digimon with Gallantmon or Growlmon in its name, that Digimon gains Blitz when digivolving Blitz. So really, really good. So just a really good card. Has been since EX2. Staple of Gallantmon, and just fantastic. Then going into the options, we have 1 Scramble. So only option for the 1 Scramble, which, to be fair, that pairs with our 1 EX4. And this one, of course, you get to digivolve into a red Digimon card in the hand with the Digivolution cost reduced by 3. Technically, it only reduces you by 1 because you have to pay 2 to use the option. But the main thing with the Scramble, of course, is if your opponent has a Digimon, you delay, you return 1 red Digimon card from your trash to the top of the deck, and then if you don't have a Digimon, you may play a red Digimon card with 2,000 or less from your trash without paying the cost, and the main target for that is probably going to be your EX4 Gearmon. Or potentially your Warping Gearmon, lots of different options. I mean, you get the rush with this one. If you warp this into the BT13, then you also gain rush there. So just really good. Then we've got 3 copies of Offense Training as the next option. Reveal top 2, add 1 red card among them to the hand, return the rest to the bottom. Then, sorry, I had lunch earlier. And then place this card in the battle area. Main, delay. You basically get to reduce the cost of one of your red Digimon by 2 when it would digivolve. And of course you have to use it immediately there and then to use that effect. But Offense Trading, obviously great staple card. And then 3 of the BT9X antibody, not opting for Protoform because of the fact that Protoform is fantastic for obviously reducing cost and everything there. But the main thing with this is because you're attacking, you're digivolving and then attacking up. Essentially what you probably want to be doing is slotting this underneath, attacking in with your level 5s, digivolving into your level 6s, and to gain your blitz, and then going in with the X antibody to then go into Gallantmon X. So it does work really well, and obviously it's a much more budget-friendly option than Protoform, because Protoform is way more expensive. The other thing as well is, I suppose, with Gallantmon, because we've got some unaffected effects, the Protoform's value is not as good as it would be in other decks where that protection is not afforded to them. But in general, I think you could play Protoform if you wanted to, but the BT9, I think, has more synergy with the overall Gallantmon strategy because you're attacking in more. But yeah, that's Sam's list, guys. I hope you guys like it. I really like this, and I will be quite scared going up against this come BT20 when the cards come out. And it will be scary whilst we're still practicing with proxies. But, I hope you guys liked it. Like, subscribe, and ding that notification bell, and we'll see you for the next build coming out on Wednesday. But until then, keep it digital.